Ciao mondo, hello world, hola mundo, hello monde. We're here today with the new Cappuccino Journal Club for Blood Purification, discussing a new paper from Rinaldo Bellomo and the Renal Study Investigator Group. The title is Dietary Protein Intake and Patient Outcome in Severe AKI, Findings of the Randomized Evaluation of Normal versus Augmented Level of Renal Replacement Therapy, the so-called Renal trial. The aim of this paper is to examine the association between dietary protein intake and outcomes considered as 90 days mortality and other secondary outcomes such as hospital stay and ICU length of stay. The analysis carried out used a multivariable logistic regression and a Cox proportional hazard model, together with a time-adjusted analysis to confirm the data. What are the results? Well, interestingly enough, 37.6 grams per day were given to survivors, while 37.7 grams per day were given to non-survivors. The average delivery of dietary protein intake was 0.5 grams per kilogram per day, while only 10% received the currently recommended 1 gram per kilogram per day. There was a signal, and in patients with dietary protein intake above median, 43% mortality was considered against 46% mortality in patients who received dietary protein intake below the median level. So, on the multiple variable analysis, a lower dietary protein intake was not associated with increased odds ratios for 90 days mortality, nor any of the secondary endpoints. And the Cox and the time-adjusted analysis confirmed this result. Within the confines of such a low dietary protein intake, greater amount of dietary protein intakes were not associated with increased survival. This is interesting because currently recommended practice suggests to deliver at least 1 gram per kilogram per day of protein intake, while here only 0.5 to 0.6 were delivered to the great majority of the patient. At this point, while in the literature low protein intake is suggested to cause a strongly negative nitrogen balance and possibly increase mortality, this was not found in this study. Probably the concept of permissive underfeeding should be re-evaluated under the light of this paper, where it seems that low protein intake was apparently equivalent to high protein intake in terms of survival. With this, I thank you for joining today Cappuccino and the Journal Club of Blood Purification, and I strongly invite you to go in the blood purification issue and read this paper from Bellomo et al. Thank you very much.